Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me, as always, is Vivek Iyer. A sharp fall is what we are witnessing. The markets have come up from the highs. Midcaps, which are outperforming, are under pressure as well. And it's all credits to Bank Nifty now. It was lower, more than what we are seeing right now. But it continues to be a down day.
Continues to be a down day. Quite a lot of pressure. Volatility is very high. And in fact, relative outperformance, you could call it, as far as the broader end of the markets are concerned. But still, it's red, and the market breadth too is clearly in the negative or in favor of the bears. But we have quite a lot lined up for this show today. Let's start off with the top headlines. Stock pullback ahead of US Federal Reserve's interest rate decision on Wednesday. Realty ekes out gains, but PSU banks and financials drag. Mid-caps relatively fare better.
RBL Bank slips in trade after the management cuts its growth guidance in a meet with Citi analysts. The management now expects low double-digit growth in the third quarter from high double-digit growth guided earlier.
Indoco Remedies under pressure after its Goa facility receives a warning letter from the US FDA. The company had received an official action indicated status for the plant 2 as well as plant 3 in Goa in October earlier this year.
Escorts Kubota is under pressure after Kotak Institutional Equities issues a sell call with a target of 3,000 rupees a share. Management says domestic tractor industry is on track to achieve mid-single volume growth, but Kotak is bearish on the stock.
Pyramid Pharma climbs after JM Financial initiates coverage with a buy call and a target price of 340 rupees a share. Says the company is at a 38% discount to average listed peers.
Okay, all right. Those are the top headlines for the markets. As we've been pointing out, it's 340-point cut that we are witnessing on the Nifty right now. A lot of it is coming in from the Bank Nifty. So at the day's low, Bank Nifty is down an 825-point cut is what we are seeing there. And in a market like this, we are saying that mid-caps are slightly outperforming. So that's what the texture of the market is, because mid-caps are down 0.3%, but they are also at the day's low. The advanced decline ratio firmly in the favor of declines right now. It's only Nifty Realty and Media which are in the green right now. All the sectoral indices in the red. PSU banks down 1.6%, financials dragging the market. We have auto, energy, metals, CPSE, you name it, and that index is at the day's low. So a lot of pressure coming in from the banking space and the other major names as well. You were pointing out there's a lot of volatility, and that continues to be the case. We saw it yesterday, that continues today.
You're absolutely right. In fact, today, especially in the last half hour of trade, what's actually dragged the market lower has been the PSU banking index. A lot of PSU banks, names like PNB, Bank of Baroda, all of these stocks are under significant pressure. A whole host of pharma stocks too have given up early gains that they had seen. But a whole host of other stocks, especially from the broader end of the market, is what Hormaz has on his radar. This is our special segment, Midcap Movers. Hormaz will take us through the midcaps that are moving around in the session.
You're in a kind of market, right, when the mid-caps are down, but they're still outperforming, so you can call it that. But then we start off with the losers then in the broader markets in today's session. And there are many of them which are in the red, with there's plenty of stock-specific activity there. Blue Star, SBFC Finance, Pidilite is down to the lows of the day, all of them trading with losses of around 3.5%. We saw plenty of brokerage commentary coming in, as many as 4 stocks which saw initiations of coverage. Quest Corp is also off the highs of the day now, but still holding on to an 8% surge. Pharma 2 off the highs, 4.5% higher, and Afcons is now down to the lows of the day, but still trying to hold on to some bits of gains in today's session. Some of the other stocks that are in the news in today's session, that are the fertilizer names, and they are the ones that are off the highs, but still in the outperforming bracket because they are holding on to some gains, 2.5 to 5% for NFL, RCF, GSFC, and even FACT. And lastly, some stocks that are doing well on the back of volumes, and Suzlon is one of them. It's a 5% circuit for Suzlon, and Massgaon Dock too at the highest point of the day when the markets are at the lowest point of the day, as the stock is about to turn X-split next week. So seeing some moves in Massgaon Dock, and Ace and Sobha too seeing some moves on the back of strong volumes. Back to you guys.
Okay, so there are some gainers as well. It's not all red for the markets today. Thank you so much, Hormaz, for joining us as always. It's a good time to welcome Shrikant Chauhan from Kotak Securities for a technical check. Shrikant, what explains this half-an-hour move that we have seen? A sharp fall from the highs, Bank Nifty contributing to those losses. Do you think we'll see further cuts by the time we end the session today?
Yeah, good afternoon. I think, the markets are correcting from the highs. And in fact, if we go through with the setup of the market, then it was not at all expected that the market can break the level of 24,500 so easily, but it has broken that. And after that, now we are seeing good amount of unwinding of put writing. So I am of the view that close to 24,300, 24,200, the market is having the next leg of support. And around those levels, I think we should look for taking some contra bets in the market because, see, broadly, the markets are in the range. Markets are not crossing the level of 24,800. At the same time, whenever there is a deeper sell-off, we are seeing good amount of support close to 24,300 or 200 levels. So this time also, I'm of the view that close to 24,300, 250, the market is having support. And around those levels, we should look for taking some contra bets in the market. Again, I'm expecting market to retest the levels of at least 24,500 or 550. For the Bank Nifty, there also, it is like it has broken all its important supports, but the next important level to watch out for would be 52,500.
Understood that, Srikanth. So as far as the Nifty is concerned, 24,300 to 24,800 is the range you're expecting it to trade at. But in this volatile market, do you have any trading ideas, any buy or sell calls?
See, I think all these mid-cap companies are really doing well. And most of these stocks, which are like crossing their previous highs or crossing their important averages, are generating more momentum in this market. So specifically today, we are seeing good amount of activity in fertilizer stock. And even if we consider the trend of last 10-15 days, then most of these have formed higher top, higher bottom sort of series. In that, we like RCF, which is currently trading at 184. And after consolidating for a day for last at least 10-15 days, it has broken its previous high. So based on its technical formation, the next level to watch out for would be 220, 225. So it's a buy at current levels. And we also like PCBL, Phillips Carbon, which is currently trading at 494, 495. And here also, if we see the pattern, then it is founding rounding bottom sort of formation. And in the past, when there was like rally and the momentum, we saw the substantial rally towards the levels of 550, 580. This time also, I'm expecting stock to move towards 580 or 560 sort of level. And 3 days back, the stock has formed its higher bottom. So based on its technical formation, 470 should be the final stop loss for creating any long position. Again, the stock can move towards the levels of 550 or 580.
Right. Thank you, Srikanth, for joining in today. With that, it's time to introduce Growth Code, a special initiative by Grow and CNBC-TV18 to further empower retail investors and traders, renowned investors and professional traders convened at Grow's Trading Right event on November 9th, where they shared valuable strategies. Here's a snippet of what pro trader Subhashish Pani, CEO of Power of Stocks, had to say about when not to trade F&O. Listen in.
ट्रेडिंग क्यों करते हैं लोग आपको पता है? एक्सपेक्टेशन, ग्रीड, क्योंकि भाई इन्वेस्ट करूंगा तो 10 साल बैठना पड़ेगा, 5 साल बैठना पड़ेगा, डबल भी हो गया तो मेरे पास 50,000 है, उसका डबल भी कर लिया तो क्या करूंगा? चांसेस है 50,000 का 5 लाख बना लूं, 10 लाख बना लूं, और ये रोड मैप में ना कभी वो चल पाते हैं, ना कभी वो स्टार्ट ही कर पाते हैं। इन द सेंस ना इन्वेस्टर बनते हैं, ना ट्रेडर बनते हैं, दोनों जगह पैसा लॉस। बोरोड कैपिटल में कभी आपका सर्वाइव नहीं होगा। लेवरेज बोरोड कैपिटल कब यूज होता है? बिजनेस को एक्सपैंड करने के लिए। और आप क्या करने के लिए आए हो कि नहीं भाई 15 लाख से अगर स्टार्ट करूंगा, दिन का 10% तो दिख ही रहा है, 1-2 महीने के अंदर अगर डबल हो गया, 10 लाख हो गया, लोन क्लियर हो गया, उसके बाद फिर गाड़ी, घर, ये चलता रहता है। और ये नर्व्स को ना इन्फ्लुएंसर बहुत अच्छे से पकड़ते हैं और बोला जाता है कि नहीं, हाँ अरे भाई डेली आपको पैसा बन सकता है।
Welcome back. You're still tuned in to Mid-Cap Radar on CNBC-TV18. Well, we'll be speaking to the management of Gulf Oil Lubricants in just a bit. But before that, if you look at the markets, there's a very slight recovery, but that is nothing to write home about for the bulls for sure. The Bank Nifty is down 740 points. The Nifty is down 300 points. It was down more than 300 points at a point in time. And this recovery is also left by what we are seeing in the Bank Nifty as well. So let's get in Mr. Manish Gangwal, CFO and President of Strategic Sourcing, IT and Legal, Gulf Oil Lubricants. lubricants. Joining us now from the sidelines of Motilal Oswal India Ideation Conference. Mr. Gangwal, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining in. Quarter 2 was good for the company. Just wanted to understand what is quarter 3 looking like? What have the trends been in terms of volume, especially both on the core business and also AdBlue volumes?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I think quarter 2 was a good quarter considering that it was a seasonal quarter, being rain impacted, monsoons were there, and some impact of elections continued. But overall, we still have done quite well in terms of overall volume delivery. And we are seeing some of the segments which were slightly lacking in quarter 2, like commercial vehicle factory fill segment, is all coming back. So we are seeing after many months some revival in commercial vehicle sales also in terms of factory fill, and overall rural is doing good in quarter 3. So we are seeing offshoots of now recovery coming back from the slightly subdued, I would say, still quarter 2 being a monsoon quarter, but usually H2, which is the second half of the year, is a better quarter from lubricant perspective. So we are hoping for a good Q3 and Q4.
Mr. Gangwal, so you've said that as far as volume trends are concerned, Q3 is shaping up to be better. You're also expecting H2 to be a seasonally better quarter as well. Will you be able to quantify in terms of what will be the kind of volume growth one can pencil in as far as Q3 is concerned? And secondly, we want to talk to you specifically about the AdBlue space or the AdBlue segment. Market share improvement was there in Q2. Where has it now reached, and what can you achieve at the end of FY25?
See, our aim has always been to deliver 2 to 3x the market growth. And we know that market is growing at 3-4% in terms of lubricant. And we continue to deliver nearly 7-8% or in some good quarters 10% volume growth. Our CAGR volume growth for last 15 years has been nearly 10% double digit. So we continue to deliver that kind of a volume growth. Even in Q3, we are looking at similar kind of, growth in terms of volume, 7 to 8% volume growth, which is clearly 2x the market, is the trajectory we aim at. And we are getting some tailwind help from even commercial vehicle factory fill supplies, which are positive now in November month. Of course, we are also looking at AdBlue as a segment, and after a slightly subdued Q2 in AdBlue, we are seeing again some pickup happening in AdBlue as a category. That category of AdBlue has grown nearly 600% in last 2 years for us. So 6 times volume growth has happened. Now, at the current level of volume, we expect this category to continue to grow at 10 to 15% for us. I think the number for H2 up to H1 has been nearly around 11-12% volume growth, and we want to close the year with similar 15% volume growth for AdBlue. So overall, both the segments, lubricant and AdBlue, are doing well.
Mr. Gangwal, you had mentioned that as far as AdBlue volume growth is concerned, you're expecting growth in the range of 10 to 15%. I believe at the end of Q2 to the sell-side analyst committee, you had mentioned that the steady-state run rate over there would be in the range of 9 to 10%. Post Q3, are you seeing higher volumes over there?
Yeah, so we are seeing, there was some slowdown in Q2 on AdBlue, but we are seeing a pickup happening as we speak in Q3, and we expect Q4 to be even better. So obviously, and with our OEM's strength, we are definitely looking for AdBlue to, on a full year basis, to deliver, mid-teens in terms of growth.
Okay. Mr. Gangwal, what about price hikes? So far there has been volume-led growth, and that is something that the street likes for sure. Are you able to push through price hikes as well? Is this something that the customer is ready to take, or is there a lot of competition and maybe price hikes would be deferred if need be as well?
So this, what I can tell you is that the industry has been very, good and disciplined in this way. Whenever there is an input cost increase, we are in a position to pass on the cost. Currently, we see the crude is quite stable, relatively stable in the range of around, $70 to $75, and we do not see any need for a price increase as of now. But if there is a movement in the crude on either side, we will be ready to take the price hikes if required especially in the aftermarket. For our OEM segment, and we are one of the biggest, partners for OEMs in India in terms of lubricant. There are quarterly price variation clauses with them. So depending on the movement in the input cost, we take the price up or down with them. So that's what on the pricing we follow as a margin management.
Got that, Mr. Gangwal. Thank you so much for joining us. So H2 expected to be much better compared to H1, and also strong volume growth expected as far as the AdBlue segment is concerned. Thank you once again for joining us. As we now slip into a short break, here's some good news for our viewers. India's business news leader is now just a click away. Introducing CNBC-TV18's all-new app. Get instant access to breaking news, in-depth articles, and financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the CNBC-TV18 app now from the Apple Play Store or Google Play Store. Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, this is a special segment, Midcap Spotlight. Winnie will be focusing on Indoco Remedies today.
Yes, so Indoco Remedies is what we're keeping an eye out on. The stock has seen a sharp fall in trade today and then recovered a bit. But the main reason for this is now its Goa facility, the Sterlite unit, has received a warning letter from the US FDA. Back in October 2024, this facility was already under OAI, that's official action indicated by the US FDA. Now this warning letter is furthermore of a delay that comes in for the facility to get cleared or anything on that front on a positive news flow. Though the company did highlight that they will continue to supply products for the facility and meet the obligations of the customers and the patients in the US market. This facility was inspected in around July 2024, and what analysts are highlighting that this is an important facility for the company, especially in terms of the growth strategy that comes in for the US market. So that is why an important facility, especially in terms of the sales or launches that are expected in the US markets, and that is why an impact on Indoco Remedies. The stock has recovered from the day's lowest point. Nonetheless, it is an important one to watch out for.
Okay, an important plant for the company, and as Vinny pointed out, it already had an OAI. The stock, though, has recovered from the lows of the day. A sharp recovery, actually. It was down 6% at a point in time. Quickly taking a look at the markets, continues to be where we started the show, 300-point cut on the Nifty. Bank Nifty is down 750 points. There is some recovery, but again, it is nothing compared to the fall that we've seen from the highs as well. But with that, we'll take your leave on Midcap Radar today. Stay tuned, MF Corner, when we come back.